So hello students. So far up to our last class, we have finished all the topics of our chapter 3 and only one topic left, that is from how silkworm, the silk organism from which we get silk, what is the process from which we get the silk, what is the overall process we learn in today's class. Okay, so the process by which any organism is taken care, it is grown over a period of time, is known as rearing. So today we will learn rearing of silkworms, how silkworms are grown, and from this how we get the silk fiber. Okay, so for obtaining silk, silk moths are reared and their cocoons are collected to get silk threads. So how we obtain silk? First we have to grow the silk moths. These are the organisms, okay, these are insects from which we will get the silk. And from this from these silk moths, what will develop? Silk cocoons will develop. In the last class we described about cocoons. So cocoons will develop, and from these cocoons will be collected, and from this we will ultimately get the silk threads. Okay, so this is a basic process. First we'll have the silk moths, then we'll take care of it, we'll give food, we'll give shelter to it. Ultimately after a period of time it will grow and it will form cocoons, and then we'll collect the cocoons, and from the cocoons we'll obtain the silk threads. So what is rearing? Rearing is a process in which silkworms, rearing of silkworm means to look after the silkworms by giving them proper food, shelter and health care. So rearing means the process in which we look after the organism. So here we are discussing about the silkworms. So rearing of silkworm means to look after the silkworms by giving them proper food, shelter and health care. Okay, so what are the basic process of rearing? We will learn step by step. First process, in a silk farm, female silk moths are kept in separate linen beds. So what we'll do first, so where this will be grown? In a silk farm obviously. So in the farm what we'll do first, female silk moths, only the female, are kept in separate linen beds. For example, if this is the farm area, there will be two rows. In each rows they will keep these female type of silk moths, okay, in nylon bags. The next step is, though we know now the female will, what they will do, they will give eggs. From this eggs next will come, so the female moth lays 200 to 500 eggs at a time. So now the female will give 200 to 500 eggs at a time. Okay, next, so they will give eggs. Now next will be taking care of eggs and all these things. The eggs are kept in perforated cardboard boxes or on bamboo, okay, trays under hygiene condition, suitable temperature and humidity. So now we need to take care of these eggs, and from these eggs the next will come, the next organism will come. So the eggs are kept into where? Cardboard box are made up of cardboard, and where? On bamboo trays made up on bamboos. Okay, and what are the different conditions maintained over there? Hygiene condition, okay, that is a clean condition, there will be clean and clear everything. Then suitable temperature, if too much temperature will be there, the egg will be destroyed. If low temperature, then also egg will be destroyed. So at suitable temperature which is required for growth will be provided, and humidity also will be there. Okay, then the next step is, the eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature in an incubator, an electrically warmed box inside which substance can be kept at a desirable temperature for the larvae to hatch from eggs. So the next step we can relate with, for example, if we have what I should give example. Okay, if you have any birds in your home, for example, if you have some duck or chicken, you can consider chicken or duck. Okay, in what they do, how they give birth to the child, there is offspring, they lay egg, and after some time there will be some suitable condition, and after which the new child will hatch the egg and the child will come out of the egg. That means now what we will do, In this case eggs are 1 because here no mother is not with the eggs, so we need to give the artificial 1 condition for hatching of egg. So a temperature, suitable temperature will be provided inside an incubator. Incubator is nothing but a machine on which you can regulate temperature. Okay, it is a machine like fridge. You can consider it as fridge, but in fridge you only can give negative temperature, there is a low temperature, but in incubator you can give low and high both temperature. Okay, so a temperature is maintained for what? After giving temperature, the larvae will hatch out of the eggs. So if you have attended the last class, you know what are larvae, what are larvae, then what are your cocoon. And so if you have missed the last class, go and please watch that class, then only you can understand this, otherwise it will be too difficult for you to understand this. Okay, so now what will happen, the next step is the larva will come out from the egg. In the last class also we discussed the same thing. Okay, the next is a perforated sheet of paper is placed over the hatching box or tray, and okay, chopped mulberry leaves are spread over it. When the leaves, the silkworm or caterpillars, okay, hatch out the eggs, they feed on the mulberry leaves. They eat day and night and increase enormously in size. This point also is the last class, life cycle of the silkworm I have described. So how they live, they feed on, they eat the mulberry plant leaves. So what we will do now, the below the eggs we will give a paper. Okay, we will give paper sheet, and will the eggs are there. Obviously what we will do, after some time the eggs will break, there is hatch, and from the egg the larvae will come out. So when as soon as the larvae will come out, they will require some food. So what food will give them? We will give them the leaves of mulberry plant. So how we will give? We will chop this. See, we will chop this into small pieces and we will give it to the larvae, that is the caterpillars or silkworm. Okay, which they will eat and they will grow in size enormously. Okay, after giving food, what will they will eat the food and they will grow in size. So this is the fifth step. The sixth is after 25 to 30 days, the silk moth stopped eating and moved to a tiny chamber of bamboo in the tray to spin cocoons. So what will do, after hatching, after coming out of eggs, okay, they will eat and grow for 25 to 30 days, and then they will stop eating. The eating will be stopped by them, and they will move to a tiny chamber of bamboo in that tray to spin cocoons. Then they will move to a certain tiny chamber, small chamber on that placed in the bamboo tray, and they will start spinning into cocoon. Spinning cocoon, all these terms are not new. If you have missed the last class, this will be new to you. So go to the last class, please watch the last class, and then only you can answer these things. Okay. So next step, they will start preparing the cocoons. Okay. Small racks or twigs are provided in the tray to which cocoons get attached. So cocoon need to be placed in a certain place. So now what we'll do, we'll give small racks or twigs on the tray on which the cocoons will be attached. Then during the period of spinning its cocoon, a silkworm is transformed into pupa. So we know in the last class we described what is a pupa. Pupa is a stage in between the larvae stage and the cocoon stage. So the larva will first convert into pupa, and from pupa it will convert into cocoon. Okay, that is from the larvae it will do pupa, and from pupa it will do cocoon. Okay, this is just process one after one. The life cycle we have explained in the last class. Next, see, so far we have described the life cycle again. So female silk moth will give, then they will give eggs, then we will give incubator some suitable temperature, and under suitable temperature what they will do, the larvae will come out, they will feed on mulberry leaves. This is just a summary. Okay, they will give the cocoons, and next the hot water treated in oven, pupa is cocoon is. Okay, so up to this much we have explained. That is the life cycle, as it is the life cycle what we have explained in the last class. Same thing we have explained in here, but here we have gone it a bit fast because these things I have explained only. 30 minutes class is there. So the next part we will learn now. Now we have cocoon. Okay, up to cocoon we have obtained in the last class also I explained in detail. So from cocoon now we'll obtain the silk. Now it starts the new point. From here we'll learn the new things. Okay, up to this much was known to us. In the last class we will explain. Now we'll explain the new things. The process of obtaining silk involves the following steps. So from cocoon, how we'll obtain the silk involves some basic steps. Now we'll learn. First is boiling. First step is boiling. The cocoons are first boiled in hot water or treated in ovens to kill the pupa inside. Pupa is nothing but the insect, is the larvae around which the silk will be there. Okay, from where the silk will come, there will be some glands in the head of the organism, this is the insect, and from there the silk will come and it will cover the entire object, organism. So cocoons are first boiled. These circle chocolate like things, cocoons are first boiled to kill the organism, to kill this organism which is present inside it, to kill it. Okay, or treated in ovens. In oven also high temperature, so it will die. If the pupa are not killed and allowed to grow, they will break the cocoon. This will reduce the length of the silk fiber. So if you will not kill the worm inside it, silkworm, so what will happen? It will grow in size, okay, because it is in living, so it will grow in size, and after some time it will break this, okay, it will break this and it will come out of this. So then what will happen? Your fiber which is starting from here to here, now it is broken into here, so the fiber is short, so you cannot use the short fiber, you need a long fiber, silk fiber, so you need to kill it by boiling or treating in ovens. The next is reeling, R-E-E-L-I-N-G, reeling. What is the meaning of reeling? The process of taking out of threads from the cocoon for use as silk is called reeling of silk. So what is reeling? The process in which we take out the silk from the cocoon. First we have killed the organism inside it in the process of boiling. Now we are taking out the silk from it. Okay, reeling is done in special machines that unwind the threads or fibers of silk from the cocoon. So reelings are not done by hand, these are done by some special machines. What they do, they unwind the fibers or the silk from the cocoon. They will remove the cocoon from this. Okay, for example, this is the organism. Okay, just look at this diagram, and around this there is silk. So in reeling, these silk fibers are separated. Okay, these are made into separated from this complex thing. The fibers of the cocoon are too fine and delicate to handle. So many of them, 3 to 10 fine filaments, are reeled together to yield a stronger thread called raw silk. So the fibers now which you will obtain through this reeling process are very thin, so that they will be damaged. Okay, they are so thin. So what they will do, they will reel 3 to 10 fine filament, that is single 10 together, so they will make one complete. Okay, this one is too weak, so it will be toned or damaged. So what they'll do, they will take 3 to 10 together and they'll make a strong, okay, strong thread or fiber. You can consider strong thread, they are considered strong thread called the raw silk. It is known as raw silk. Okay, the inferior quality silk produced by damaged or waste cocoons is called spun silk. So all that from the cocoon what we are obtaining silk, all will be not good. Some will be good and some will be bad. Okay, in case of silk or wool also we learn the same thing. Some will be good and some will be bad. So goods are we are taking as raw silk, and the bad which are damaged or waste, these are known as spun silk. Okay, the bad quality which are damaged or waste are known as spun silk. Next is throwing. So what is throwing? The raw silk is twisted to produce thrown silk. Okay, thrown silk. So what is thrown silk? We need to know. This is called throwing. This prevents the silk from splitting into individual fibers. Okay, so throwing is, now the raw silk they will now I have explained that they are taking, instead of one they are taking 3 to 10 together to make a strong. So they will bind this all together so that this cannot be splitted into individual fibers. Now from this 10 you cannot take out one. These are attached in such a way, these are binded in such a way you cannot separate one from other. So this is known as throwing. Okay, then dyeing. So I will explain what is dye. Dye means color. So now everything is done, fiber is ready, so we'll color it according to our choice. So thrown silk is dyed for making colored fabrics, so we will color according to our choice. The dyed silk fibers are then spun into silk threads, then are woven into silk cloths by weavers. So after color, what we'll do, there are different machines. Using these machines we will prepare different type of cloths. Yes, coloring of fiber is done, so the fiber is now ready. Now fiber they will spoon into some yarn, and from this the different companies or different persons will make this different type of cloths. So now you see the overall process again in detail. Okay, just now we have explained each step, so just look at overall process. What do this in this process? Yarning of silkworm, it starts from the female silk moth. First we'll take the female silk moth, then after some time this will give the eggs. Okay, then we'll give some suitable temperature, then humidity, okay, then some hygiene condition to these eggs, and we'll provide some incubator high temp for temperature maintaining. Then under incubator these will develop larvae, that is the caterpillar or silkworm. Then we will provide them some food for growth, that is the chopped leaves of mulberry plants. Okay, then after eating much and much they will become they will convert to pupa, and from pupa they missed one step over here. Okay, there is pupa, and from pupa they will develop into cocoons. So up to this much our life cycle is over. Now we will develop the fiber from the cocoon. The next step is cocoons are boiled in hot water oven to kill the pupa. Just now we learned. Then the next is reeling. Reeling is what? We'll mix 2 or 3, more than 3, 4, 5 these threads together to make a strong thread. And this is the process where we remove the thread from the cocoon. So silk thread. Next, after reeling silk thread, okay, we will obtain silk thread. Then we will obtain raw silk. Raw silk is what? If you instead of 1 we are taking 3, 4 together to make it strong, and this is known as raw silk. Then it is throwing. Throwing is nothing but if you are taking 3, 4 they will by mix this all together in such a way that we cannot separate. So this is throwing. So then we'll get thrown silk. Then we'll color. If you need a red shirt we'll color it red, if you need a black shirt we'll color it black. So according to our choice we'll color dye. There is color silk we'll get now. Then we need cloth. You want to prepare sari, you want to prepare shirt, you want to prepare pant. So according to your choice, different companies or person or individuals will convert this into different cloths, silk cloths. So this is the overall process from which we get silk cloths from the silk moth. I am repeating again, this class will be a bit difficult for you if you have not attended the last class. So I'll suggest you again and again, if you have missed the last class, please go and watch the last class. If you don't have the link, ask me, I'll provide you. But without watching the last class, this part will be too difficult for you, and if you don't understand this part, the remaining you cannot understand. As simple as that. So go and watch the previous class and then only come to this class. Okay, so this is for today. This chapter is over. Thank you. Now you can ask your doubts. Okay.